Growing up in a family of entrepreneurs, anything seems possible. If you look at history and you look at what has been timeless, it's unique. And the only way to be unique is to make it custom. Restaurants are extremely complicated because no matter what size they are, they all need the exact same elements. For us, our whole motto is basically we customize and build as much as we can, and that will give you timeless. I'm a fourth generation contractor. The need and want to build was always something that was inherent of me. One day I was in a cafe in La Jolla. I was sitting on some chairs made out of rebar, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So I said, I can get this material for free. So I just started making rebar furniture for just about everybody, for every occasion. I started putting it into stores. Every time I put furniture in, almost 2 or 3 days later, it was gone. And when I went in one day to look at the furniture I put in, I noticed how much they'd marked it up. And I was immediately like, well, wait a minute. I decided to open my own gallery furniture store. And that's kind of where it started. People started asking me to do custom work. So I became kind of a fabricator for a lot of interior designers and architects. And it got to a point where I got known for that. So designers would just say, oh, if you need something, just cold call Paul and he'll design and build the whole thing for you. BASILE Studio is kind of an incubator for rapid manufacturing or prototyping. My thoughts on how to get something done is from a fabricator. I just scrapped the traditional way of doing things, and I basically said, like, well, here's the quickest way we can get from A to Z. Our design studio is integrated into this shop, so what you're seeing above me is a design studio. Typically, you have a designer, then they come up with an idea. They send that idea out to a bunch of different people. Well, we do all of them.
We not only do what's traditional in the design role, which is just drawing and coordination, we're involved in fabrication and construction.
Typically, you design something and you send it out, and then you don't have to really think about it again until it's installed, and you just kind of deal with how it's going to be. The great thing here is now we'll design something and we catch the errors in it right away, or we see something how it can just be improved.
It cuts back on all the communicating, all the miscommunicating, and it puts it all together so that, anything you can think of can happen, and it can happen fast.
So what makes our shop really unique is that we have integrated a lot of different tools. The CNC department, which is what we're standing in right now, we've integrated laser, CNC wood router, 2 water jets, CNC plasma. Most of the stuff you would have to go search out and find in other companies, and we brought all those tools into one spot, and what that does is it allows us speed.
A digital fabrication specialist is somebody who can take technology in the fabrication world and use that to produce and make and create. We take live model or models and we're making them into the real world to create an environment that creates an emotion.
We use only natural materials. We love metal, not just steel, but we love brass and stainless steel. And when we want color, we use natural materials like woods. We don't use a lot of paints. It's using mostly natural materials and using them in more interesting ways. First thing we want to do is we want to get the client's budget. What we've done is we created a really simple system where we create a floor plan. Once the floor plan is approved, It goes right into modeling the space. And because we're general contractors and we do all the fabrication and procurement, at that point, which is probably 3 weeks to a month into the project, we have a full budget. And we include in our budgets, we include their operational costs, we include their opening costs, their food, their beverages that they're going to need at the beginning, how much labor they're going to need for the first month, how much they should have in the bank. Like we really go through, like, this is what it's going to take to open this business. After the budget's approved, we literally go back to every single item in redesign. The design process doesn't end until the project's done.
That's really what separates BASILE Studio, is that attention to detail.
I think Polite Provision's like a good example. Like, if you look at the back of the bar at Polite, we painfully like integrated refrigeration systems so you can't see them.
I worked on the ramen restaurant. The budget was a little bit more strict, so we had to be really creative with the decisions that we made. So we used a lot of digital tools to create patterns and textures, and really tried to amplify the materials through the manipulation that we used, and that way we were able to add a lot of creativity in a budget-driven project.
Everybody has an extreme passion for what we do. So one of our rules is like, don't show anything unless you're proud of it. Because they have extreme passion for it, they work like very hard to make sure the details come out. You can't really do it otherwise. I mean, it's the people that we have.
There is literally not one day that's the same at this office. I don't think anyone would say they've had the exact same day twice. It just doesn't happen. It makes the design process more fun because I'm not just doing the same thing over and over again. I have to constantly think about the new thing coming.
In the last 200 years, the field of architecture has really segmented. That's been to the detriment of the profession because no one person really understands the total process of how buildings go together. By participating in every aspect of design from conception to execution, we're able to develop really, really strong concepts that are executed to a really, really high level.
I think we're just starting. Like, the future is going to be this rapid prototyping, rapid manufacturing, taking any challenge and seeing how far you can push it. There's no limitation.